Yad nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I did a live stream earlier, but I guess YouTube was having issues earlier. So I figure I'll just do one right now, see if it's working. I had prepared an topic to discuss earlier. I had mentioned the weather already. There really isn't any weather activity in the Philippines. No typhoons of any kind. Bright and sunny actually this morning. Let me see. Let me show you outside. Man, it's just like warm already. Feels like it's gonna be a hot day for sure here today. It's almost 9 a.m. here. Bright and sunny here in Numancia, Aklan. Man, that sun is pretty intense early this morning. Oh man, that's just bright, super bright sun, and it is warm. I'm thinking it's probably close to 90 degrees already, and it's still early. They're doing construction up one of my neighbor's place, like 3 doors down from me. So you might be hearing some banging. There's a lot of motorbikes right there. The construction people. But beautiful day. Looks like we're gonna have blue skies right there. You can see some grinding going on. So let me go back in. But there's some noise today. There's because of the construction. That was actually pretty common here in our subdivision when I first moved here, because we were at house number 6 when we moved here. I actually showed a friend of mine a picture. I sent him my friend Ray. He's in Bicol right now. He used to live here. Actually, he used to live here at Camellia. And I told him, he's like, we were just talking, and I told him that I was, when I was house number 6 when this subdivision got built. So now there's over 300 homes here. So if you can imagine that my first year or two here, I was just hearing construction every day for 2 years. We had to like close our windows pretty much. It is what it is at the time, because when the subdivision was still being built, when we got in 2015, the prices were really, really reasonable. Like my friend Michael did that Philippines Life, that video he made, our house was only $25,000 at the time. I mean, to me, that was a bargain, house and lot for that amount. It's and it's a solid house. It's like cement structure, metal roof. The only wood part in our house is that stairs right there, made of wood. Everything is solid cement. Even the earthquakes that we've had, recent earthquakes, no damage at all. I'm looking outside, there's no cracks or anything. So really a nicely built house here. Built to last for sure. And it's gone through like Super Typhoon Ursula back in 2019. Roof stayed, no damage to our roof. Number 1, all right. Raroke, Kevin Shores. Hey, Kevin Shores. Hello. Hello, Sir Gene White. All right, hello. Yeah, I see you, brother. I see you all the time, commenting. I really appreciate you for your support. From Angeles, Pampanga. I lived there back in the day when I was in the military. I was in the United States Air Force back in the late 80s until Pinatubo, until 91. I was part of the evacuation at Clark Air Base. So I used to live in Angeles City. Earthquake there. So far, no earthquake today. I did aftershocks, I guess, in Iloilo. Actually, Michael was discussing that with me when he was here. He did research on the earthquakes here in Panay Island, and historically our area, like where he's at, Rojas City, and we're here in Aklan Province. We don't get hit as much as Antique and Iloilo. I guess in Antique there's actually a fault line in Antique. So I guess it's just one of those things you really can't predict. I mean, all the earthquakes going on now in the Philippines, seems like there's no rhyme or reason of the different areas getting hit by earthquake right now. And that's pretty not usual. It's unusual to have so many earthquakes that people are feeling in the different areas of the Philippines. I can't remember a year where it's been like this. Now, 14 years here in the Philippines, I cannot remember a year where we're having so many earthquakes. But we're in the ring of fire. In the Philippines is included in the ring of fire. So it's not just the Philippines getting earthquakes. They're getting earthquakes all over Southeast Asia too. So it's not, the Philippines getting isolated with all these earthquakes. Good morning, Ray. Hey, my good friend Ray in the Philippines in Tagaytay. We did a combo live stream the other night. I enjoyed that, Ray. I enjoyed that very much. Good morning, Ginno, Phil. All right, Phil McLeod. Good morning. Good morning. Yesterday I didn't do a live stream because if you remember the day before, there's a guy. His name's Ryan, and he's from Australia. He was coming from the Canadian Beaver. He had eaten lunch and then eaten dinner, stayed overnight in Rojas City the other day, and then he goes. When actually on my live stream, he went on the live stream. He was on the bus. He was on the bus to Calibo, and he goes, "Hey, Ginno, I'm headed to Calibo." And I was like, "Hey, no worries. When you get here, let me know when you get to the bus station. We get checked in your hotel." And sure enough, it's like he stayed at the Vineyard Hotel. I know that hotel because that hotel is where we go to the 8 Ball Tavern, one of the best like bar food. If you're looking for bar food, if you're looking for like on tap beer, good selection of imported beer. Like my friend Gray, he was telling me that's the only place is found in Calibo that has Stella beer. It's like I've never had Stella beer and still haven't. Because like I was like I told my friend Gray I'll pass on the beer this time. But if you're looking for that, good pizza, fire roasted pizza, American burgers, Australian beef burgers. We've eaten there many times. I recommend like the 8 Ball Tavern. Yes, YouTube was not working for any bit earlier. I was watching this morning, but yeah, that's what it said. That's why I couldn't maybe I'll put up my YouTube here just in case it doesn't start working again. I don't just keep talking here and not realize that I actually deleted that earlier video because I didn't really was not saying anything yet. I wasn't able to discuss anything my topic. All right, so I see myself. So I'll see myself and lower the volume here, so at least I can track if it gets hung or anything like that. Hi, Haley. All right, Haley, thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you so much. Today, my topic, I thought about this topic because of my friend Ray, my friend Ryan. I mean, you got me distracted there, Ray. But my friend Ryan yesterday and the day before, we Dazzle and I, we ate lunch with him. Very, very cool guy. I mean, it's like we had fun. Dazzle and I had fun hanging out with him that afternoon. We even took him to Liana School, drove him around Calibo. And then yesterday, the reason I didn't do a live stream, I took him to the Bakawan Eco Park. He mentioned he wanted to see the Bakawan Eco Park. And I just gave him a quick tour of Calibo. We went to the Esplanade, we went to Lambingan Beach, a Hayahay restaurant. I always treat myself to make sure. Yeah, that's it. I'm looking at it now. Thank you, Ray. I think I learned that trick from you, Ray, because I was like, we don't know when we're doing the live stream whether it gets freeze or if it's hanging, on the screen. So now I can watch. At least I can see it's going on my laptop, so I can at least know that you guys are able to watch me still. Carl Kaba said hi. Hey, Carl Kaba, thank you for joining the live stream this morning. So Ryan, man, he's just a interesting person. I mean, he's just a cool dude. It's like Ryan was in Thailand for like 8 years. He lived in Thailand. He was teaching English in Thailand. and he actually learned Thai, the Thai language, because he's he's pretty smart. I can tell he's a smart guy, and he devoted 8 years in Thailand, so it made sense. He was even asking me because now he's considering staying here in the Philippines. That's why he was asking me about like what language, Philippine dialect or language, and I told him Tagalog. Tagalog is the best one to learn, because if you learn Tagalog here, the Filipino the language, that's the main language in the entire Philippines. So you can go from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, anywhere in the Philippines, pretty much can speak Tagalog. If you pick some of the dialects, even in the Visayan region, there's several, Aklanon, Hiligaynon, Cebuano, it's sectional if you learn that particular language. If you move to another area, they won't speak that language. So it's better if you choose Tagalog. So we had discussion on that. He was even asking me, is there any availability to learn that in Kalibo? And that's the thing, it's like, I don't really see like a language school for Tagalog. A lot of expats I know, they hire like a tutor. Like a lot of college kids here, like even in Kalibo, you can easily find like a smart college kid here looking for a part-time job to like, if you want to learn Tagalog, somebody that can teach you Tagalog, conversation Tagalog, basic Tagalog. They'll be happy to do that because college kids, they don't have a lot of money. Any extra money they can make, for tuition, for allowance, for boarding house, that's a big help for them. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. If you're really interested in learning Tagalog, it's not hard to find someone that will tutor you and teach you like one-on-one. I think it's ideal, because they can teach you the basic, and then you can have conversation Tagalog. And most college kids here, I've not yet met a college kid here that doesn't speak English. There's a lot of things like in the Philippines, like if you're thinking about the Philippines as far as like fluency in English, there's a misnomer that I've seen it on YouTube. People like say, I heard everybody speaks English in the Philippines, and they come here. It's like no, not everybody speaks English, and that's true, because like you got to realize there's like 7,000 islands. There's the provinces, especially in the provinces, you got fishermen, you got farmer. A lot of them, especially the old generation, a lot of them just finished elementary school, maybe stepped a little in high school, but most of them don't go to college. Like the people that are working in the farms, the commercial fishermen that goes out to the ocean. So their English is limited. That's why you don't, when you say, oh, I thought everybody knew English in the Philippines, that's not true. The ones that will speak English more likely are the ones that attend college. If a person attends college here, there's no way they can pass college here without speaking English or understanding English. Even when Dazzle and I went to school here in STI College Kalibo, we had English class, we had our lectures were in English. So if you go to a city, you won't have any problems finding people speaking English. Like if you go to Cebu City, Manila, all the big cities, Iloilo City, easy. Most people there is going to speak English. But the problem is like in the provinces. Like even my good friend Tim, he always says here, yo, G. He always intros himself when he's on the live stream. He stayed there for some time in Antique province, and that was the thing he ran into. Was like he went remote, like in Antique, and he couldn't find English speaking Filipinos. They were like they were comfortable speaking to him, in Tagalog. So that's something to consider, when you move here to the Philippines. If you go to like the remote provinces, don't expect them to speak English fluently. They'll understand some, because it's a lot of Filipinos. It's a pride for Filipinos to understand and speak English. All the TV shows in here, it's either in Tagalog or English. So most Filipinos watch TV, so you'll at least have they'll at least have a basic, even in the process, basic understanding of English. Michael in the Philippines. Good morning, bro. Good morning, Michael, my good friend in Trece Martires. I agree completely, Gino. I always recommend Tagalog if you are going to learn a language. Like you're saying, if a Filipino aren't fluent in English, they will know Tagalog. Exactly, right? It's like I have not met a Filipino that don't know Tagalog. Like, I think every single Filipino knows Tagalog. Wherever they come here, whatever province, whatever mountain, even the Ati tribe, they can speak Tagalog. It's like that's the common language here in the Philippines. My friend in Mindanao speaks great Mandarin. Her English is not that good. All right. But again, if her English is not that good, I'm pretty sure she speaks Tagalog. Like I was saying before, there's my dog. Hold on. I think my dog got trapped in Leanna's room. Hold on. Let me get. All right. You got trapped in there, Leanna. You got you trapped in there. All right. Last side. Totoy locked herself out in Leanna's room, but that one bark means that she wants out. So now she's outside doing her business. Because we have a yard here, we have a fence, so we can let our dogs out in our little yard area here. Yeah, like I said, like in Mindanao, there's a lot of remote areas in Mindanao. The main city I know in Mindanao may be Davao, Cagayan de Oro. Those are the big cities. You will see more people speaking English in the big cities. But like if they're living out in the mountains, a lot of times there's not even schools there. It's like, and if they do have schools, a lot of times it's just elementary, maybe high school. So their English is limited because they just had English as a subject at elementaries. It's kind of like me when I went to the U.S. I had like 4 years of Spanish in high school. I can, I absorbed some of the Spanish, but I wasn't fluent in Spanish. I could understand a little bit. Hi, good morning, Ginno from LV. Good morning, LV. Yes, my girlfriend's mother doesn't really speak English. Again, the older generation here in the Philippines, the older generation in the Philippines, they work in the farms, they work in the rice fields, they were fishermen out in the ocean. They didn't have much time to learn English, like I said. The newer generation, the younger people, the people that are 25 and below, it'll be hard to find anybody 25 and below that doesn't speak English. But the older generation, your 40s, 50s, 60s, you'll run into people that don't speak English really well. It makes her smile. I speak, right. If you speak a little Tagalog, you'll always get a smile from Filipinos anywhere you are. If you start speaking in the Tagalog language or dialect, when you speak Tagalog, and they look at you, you're American, they're gonna smile. It's impressive to them that you're attempting to learn the language. Little bit. Hi everyone. All right. Hey Lily. Hello, I'm from Dominican Republic. All right, Stephen, thank you for joining the live stream from the Dominican Republic. And I do have a topic today. I was about to discuss the topic on the earlier live stream, but it had blanked out. I decided to do this topic because of Ryan. Like I said, Ryan was in Thailand for 8 years. He taught English in Thailand. And then he learned the Thai language, so he's fluent. He's fluent on Thai, he said, because the 8 years that he spent there. But for him, I found it interesting, when I was talking to Ryan yesterday, because for him, the whole time he was there, people always compare Thailand and the Philippines. You always, that people get in heated debate over, if you go on Facebook, the expat groups, oh, Thailand's better, oh, Philippines is better. That discussion is a never-ending discussion. So that's my topic today, Philippines and Thailand. And I've been to Thailand a few times. I've visited Bangkok, I've been to Pattaya, did the tours. When you stay at a hotel in Bangkok, you do all the tours, like the floating market, the elephant tour. You do those things when you're in Thailand. And for me, just my opinion, I do agree that with Thailand, their infrastructure is better than the Philippines. I do agree that hotels, apartments, they're cheaper. They're cheaper in Thailand. Not only cheaper, but a lot of times better quality. I have a friend now, he came here to the Philippines. He stayed here for about 6 months. Now he's in Thailand for 2 years. He's loving that. So to me, it was never which one's better. To me, it's kind of like it depends on the person. What that person is looking for between Thailand and the Philippines. I wasn't, even though I'm here in the Philippines, I'm not biased. It's like for me, hey, if Thailand works out for you, I'm happy for you. If the Philippines works out for you, I'm happy for that person. To me, each has its pros and cons. But I wanted to discuss, this is from Brian, coming from a guy that lived in Thailand for 8 years, actually knows the Thai language, because that was one of the things he said. Even as an English instructor in Thailand, they just don't, there's more people here in the Philippines that understands English than in Thailand. And I've been to Thailand. If you travel in Thailand, yeah, you will struggle talking to someone, because very limited amount of people will basic understanding even in English. All right, Brian. Hey, Brian. Good morning. Good morning, TechSpad. What's the score, man? I had the game on my laptop, but I had to switch to myself. That way I can see if it doesn't go out on me. This live stream doesn't go out on me. JP, Thailand's language looks like noodles. I don't think I can learn the language. I'm okay at English already. Yes, JP. And that's the thing I was gonna discuss, Like I said, Ryan, man, I just had fun with him, because I was soaking up the knowledge from him about Thailand, because that's where he's coming from. He's originally from Australia, but he had spent 8 years in Thailand. Now he's here in the Philippines, checking out the Philippines. That's why he went to Rojas City. I think he landed in Cebu, spent some time in Cebu, went to Rojas City. The last 2 days he was here in Calibo. Now he's on the morning bus at 5 a.m. He texted me. He goes, "Thank you so much, Ginno. Thank you for having I made that short last night about you have a friend in Calibo," and he made like a little comment that I appreciated the comment. He said. Right there, he says, "Morning, Ginno. Thanks for being a friend in Calibo. Just at the Cirrus bus terminal, heading off to Iloilo. I'll be back." He said he'll be back, and he sent this at I think it was like 5:15 in the a.m. this morning, early. That's what my friend Ryan had sent to me. Like I said, it's like for me it was fun, because I enjoy it when somebody comes here. I want to show people what Calibo is all about, but also hear their stories. And he's got an amazing story. It's like he's younger than me. He's 44 years old. Never been married. He said he just couldn't find, when he was in Thailand. He was busy with work and all that, and then he just one of the things he told me, and that was what I was going to discuss this morning, was when he was in Thailand, he just didn't see the number of people. I watch YouTube, but maybe because I'm planted here in the Philippines, I'm a YouTuber, so I'm seeing more Filipino videos, expats with Filipinas and Filipina wives, but I just don't see a lot of expats. I know there's a lot of expats in Thailand, but you just don't see a lot of expats even blogging. Maybe you guys know of a blogger in Thailand that has a has a Thai woman, or that dynamic. It's like an expat, a Thai woman, doing live streams talking about Thailand. You just don't see it. I mean, and that's what Ryan was saying. It's like what he noticed. Here in the Philippines, there's just a lot, vloggers that met a Filipina and they're on YouTube. And then not only that, he noticed that they're living like normal lives here. It's like the expat meets the Filipina. Not all are vloggers, not all are vloggers, but when he's seen it here where they marry, and most of the time they start a family. And I think that's what he's looking for. I think that, I can sense that's why he came here to the Philippines. He just didn't see that opportunity in Thailand when he was there. It's just he said it's a different culture. The Thai people, from what I'm telling, they don't mind expats in Thailand, but it's still like not well accepted as far as like a Thai woman marrying an expat. I'm sure it happens, but it's not as common. It's not as common as here in the Philippines, from what he's saying. And I know it. I'm here. I've been here 14 years in the Philippines, and I see it all the time. I see people coming here, not even been here a year, sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year. All of a sudden, they're getting married to a Filipina, and I'm all for that. It's like because they just get here and meet Filipinas. To me, it's a lot easier. Maybe because of the language barrier, it's a lot easier here to meet a Filipina. All right, I gotta catch up on the comments here. I don't want to get too behind. All right, there you go. Thailand's. All right, there you go. Team Melker Adventures. Hi from All right, great, Tim Melker. That's great that you're on the live stream. Maybe you can help us with that, with how the dynamic as far as like expats moving there and meeting a Thai woman, marrying a Thai woman, and starting a family with a Thai woman. Every place has its pros and cons. It depends on what your priorities are, from Ray. English and ease of visa are two of the biggest pros over other Asian countries. Southern Cal, Benny, JP, all right, there was a worldwide outage with YouTube, including major. All right, that's why earlier I suffered through the worldwide. I did my live stream and I was like, oh, no, nobody's like, it got hung, but now it's working fine. My Filipina is from Negros. I'm from the U.S., also ex-military. All right, brother. All right, a fellow U.S. military. All right, I'll have to check out your channel, because I can tell by your that you have a channel. So I'll have to take a picture. My memory's not the best, so I'll take a picture and I'll check out your channel. Team Melker Adventures. All right. For the Blue Jays. All right. Ooh, Blue Jays are all right. Good deal. Maybe the Blue Jays will make a series out. Thank you for the score. Thank you for your service. You too, brother. Thank you for your service also, brother. JP, I will take vacation in Thailand. Flights and hotels are cheap. Exactly, like me. I wouldn't mind taking, as soon as Dazzle tells me that she's willing to fly, I will take her. To Thailand. Thailand is so easy from here. Singapore, Thailand, so easy. Cambodia, so easy. To Vietnam from the Philippines. They're like direct flights now from Iloilo, so easy to fly there. And cheap. I just checked on Singapore, Iloilo to Singapore, 10,000 pesos, less than $200 round trip to Singapore. So I know Thailand's got the same, that it'll cost about the same. Really cheap flights. And I've been there, so I know hotels aren't expensive. It's like easy to get, like in Bangkok especially. So many cheap hotels in Bangkok. I want to try. Yeah, for sure. I know you will, JP. You'll when you get here, I'm sure you'll travel to other Southeast Asian countries. Easy travel from the Philippines. What's weird is, actually, I'll start comparing. Sometimes it's cheaper to go to Thailand than go domestic. Like for me here, if I fly right now, JP, and vacation in Thailand, it will be cheaper for me to fly to Thailand than to fly to Siargao Island. You know, Siargao Island is like one of the up and people go to Siargao Island, the surfing capital of the Philippines. Just like it's like a lot of expats, Europeans, you name it, they go to Siargao. From here, from where I'm sitting, I can actually go to Thailand cheaper than if I go to Siargao Island, because I have to, like, from here I have to fly to Cebu. Cebu, I have to fly to Surigao City. Surigao City, I got to take a ferry. Here, I can just go to Iloilo, fly direct to Thailand. My dog. And some of the hotels I know in Siargao Island, man, it's even more expensive than the hotels in. It would be a cheaper vacation for Dazzle and I to go to Thailand than to go to Siargao Island. And I'm in the same country. There's a dynamic. Even for us to go to Palawan. Palawan will cost us more than if we go straight to Thailand. Some Thai people, they can speak English well. Some, they especially in the remote area. But we Filipino, we learn American English when we start the school. Yes, yeah. As far as like the Thai children, I'm not. That's why it's good that we have a person here from Thailand, because I don't know if they teach English in Thailand at elementary school. Hello again. Hey, all right, Daniel. Welcome back, Daniel. You were in the earlier live stream, man, and I just lost the live stream. I guess it's a worldwide outage with YouTube. My good friend Daniel in Jacksonville, Florida. Glad to see everyone back. All right, howdy, Ray. All right, hello, Daniel. It's so weird without nicknames on here. All right, with that, it is my perception of a difference between Thailand and Philippines. Filipinos are welcoming of foreigners. Thais are tolerant. I've heard that. I didn't live in Thailand, so I just visited Thailand, so I didn't get the full experience. I was a tourist the few times that I went to Thailand, so I didn't get the vibe. There wasn't I didn't meet a Thai friend, or anything like that. So I can't speak on that dynamic, but I've heard that from expats that have visited both countries, that they just tolerate foreigners in Thailand. We're here, it's more friendly, a more friendly experience. Hey Daniel, howdy Ray. All right, said hi. Kiara Jones said hi. Hello Kiara. Ray, hey John, all right, hey the Colonel, good morning, the Colonel. Thank you for joining the live stream, Colonel. It's all good now. All right, Fortune's all good now. All right, actually it gave me time to edit the video. I edit. Me and Ryan, we went to Bakawan Eco Park. We went on that long hike through the bamboo bridge, and it's awesome. And I filmed it, so that will be the next video. I'll finish editing it, and then I'll put it at midnight tonight. I'll release that video at midnight tonight. I agree, JP. I want to visit others, but after I explore more thoroughly. Yeah, it's easy. I mean, Ray, it's so easy. Like for me, when I got to Boracay, my first 18 months in Boracay, that's when I traveled. I went to Hong Kong, I went to Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. It's so easy to fly. And you can always get like bargain rates. Airline tickets. I'm always checking. I'm on Singapore. I know Dazzle wants to go back to Singapore. I've taken Dazzle to Singapore because she likes Singapore, because there's a U.S. naval base in Singapore. It's called the Sembawang U.S. Naval Base. So when we went there, Dazzle was able to experience the commissary, the BX, and we were actually, the next time we go to Singapore, we plan on staying on the base because they have billeting also on the base. She just wants to feel like the American vibe around American soldiers, American, I have to renew my ID card anyway. I have to get that. I think by December I'm supposed to get that new CAC card in the military. So I still have the old retired blue ID. I got to get that replaced. So I'm hoping Dazzle wants to fly again because she's not fond of flying. So the minute Dazzle tells me she's willing to fly again, we're on the plane. I'm ready to travel again. I'm feeling good now. You know, I'm feeling back to normal. I know I can travel. I know I can start experiencing travel again. Here's the thing. Young Western men love to explore Thailand with young Thai women, nightlife. However, those older, wants to settle, they prefer Filipino women to pick their mate or future wife. Oh, I can see that. I can see that. I used to follow, I still watch some of their, I haven't been able to watch as much of their videos. 8 Miles from Home, I know Sasha and Jay, they came from Thailand, right? They lived in Thailand for a little bit of time, but then they came to Siargao Island, and it's been their home now. It's been it seems like it's their permanent home now. They just like the more family vibe, of Siargao Island. Brian, Blue Jays have scored more runs in the 4 innings than all combined. All right. Oh, I know. I remember the Blue Jays are like a offensive machine, So that's good. That's it. At least they're gonna make a series out of it if they win today. Many bloggers make the Philippines as the base in Asia. If that's your plan, best city is Iloilo City. Correct. I've always said that. Fortune, it's like I've traveled. Like I said, I've traveled all of the Philippines, and I find out of all the cities, Iloilo City is just a good place to be your home base, a good place to be like a safe, soft landing in the Philippines because it's just got everything. People are so friendly. Crimes, low crime rate, compared to like Manila, compared to Manila or even Cebu City. Medical, if you have medical issues, to me, Iloilo City is becoming like the hub for medical in the Visayas region. Good AM again, Ginno, fam, and Panay Pasi. All right, Fortune. Good morning. That's all still asleep, so that's why I figured, well, I'll do a live stream. I finished editing the video that I shot yesterday, so I figured, well, I'll go live stream. Maybe YouTube is working now. Good morning, Fortune. Fortune. Brian, another one for the J. All right, another one for J. Good to hear. Vietnam offered 10 more. For me, fresh veggies, seafood, side travel, plus very low. Yes, and that's a common. Like, I have a friend, Jack, I helped him here. Jack came here to Calibo. He lived in Boracay for a few months, lived in Cebu before he finally decided to go to Thailand. And he's loving Thailand, He's in Thailand now. Actually met a Thai lady in Thailand. So he's like, he's been there over 2 years now. And I always, he always tells me, the food is cheaper, apartments are cheaper and nicer, hotels are cheaper and nicer. So he travels on his motorbike all over Thailand. So he's loving life. That's why, to me, like I said, there's pros and cons to both. But Thailand is actually one of the places when Leanna's in college already, when mom, that's one of the places where Dazzle and I actually, we plan on like living for a little bit, maybe 3-4 months, depending on the visa requirements they have. We're already looking at Chiang Mai. It's like, I wouldn't mind living for a few months in Chiang Mai just to experience, like I said, experience Thailand for real, not as a tourist. It's different when you live in an area compared to like when you're a tourist. When you're a tourist, you're just seeing all the tourist spots. When you're living there, you get to know the locals. You meet people at cafes. You start talking to people. Good AM, Ray, Michael C, GP. All right. Vietnam versus Thailand. I think more, I'm sure now here, Daniel, a lot, I know Vietnam seems to be even cheaper than Thailand. It seems to be Vietnam is like the cheapest, if that's what you're looking for. The problem, like I know one of my friends, when he was deciding over Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, he ended up here. he's like, older than me, a little older than me, and his thing was like, he wasn't sure how the Vietnamese people felt about Americans because of the Vietnam War. Maybe the newer generation, they don't know, understand that, but like, how about the older generation that were there? How did they feel about an American there? That's why he said he didn't feel comfortable. That's why he selected the Philippines over Vietnam. Number 27 is a bad dude. It's a bad dude, all right. For the Blue Jays, all right. Good AM, Southern Cal Benny, all right. Daniel, Colonel. They teach English, but the children are too shy to speak it because of their culture of worrying about losing face, being embarrassed. So they lose the ability to speak from not. Oh, okay, thank you, Colonel. I figure you guys know more about Thailand than me. But I just found it interesting from Ryan's perspective, because I can tell, Ryan's never been married. He's 44. He's retired now because he never got married. So he worked all this time and now he's got enough money to retire young. It's like, and that's why I think he connected with me, because he knows that I retired also at young. At 45, he's 44. So that's why he was interested in me, like getting to know me, and we became friends, because now I know what he wants. He wants to meet a lady, he wants to start a family. And after living 8 years in Thailand, he just didn't feel that was the place. He just like, he's gonna try the Philippines because he's seen the dynamic between expats and Filipina. He's just found like the Filipina women. He thinks, he thinks that they're just more loving, more easier relationship with expat, more accepted here in the Philippines because there's so many. It's like just about all the expats I know here has a Filipina girlfriend or a Filipina spouse. Not the case in Thailand. He was telling me a lot of the older expats there, they just have girlfriend just to have a girlfriend, kind of like but not as a girlfriend to like marry and have kids with. That usually is not a dynamic here in the Philippines, to just have a girlfriend, like kind of like somebody, a companion. Over here, it's like most Filipinas, when they date an expat, it's a relationship. It's something that they want to have marry. They want to have kids more likely. That's the direction most of the time. Good point, Lily. Older foreigners have usually gotten their wild side out of their system. The wild side. There was a global outage in the morning. All right. Then the second live on Ginno, no one can enter. All right. That's why I just removed that. So that should be okay now. Speaking about Thai students, this third for the day is all good now. I only had one that earlier, but I guess it wouldn't. I tried to delete it and it wouldn't delete it. That's why it's confusion. But it finally allowed me to delete it. So this is only the second one. So we should be good now. That's why there's more people in the live stream now, and I appreciate it. Appreciate the patience. It's like we have to work. I have to work with what YouTube provides. It's the platform. It's the free platform for me. So appreciate your time here. Iloilo City has direct flights, Thailand, Hong Kong. I know, it's like, and more flights are coming to Iloilo City because it's becoming a hub. Not only international flights, but also domestic flights. You got direct flights from Iloilo now to Bicol, to Davao, to Panglao, to Bacolod. It's like, they're just flying everywhere from Iloilo City. So if you select Iloilo City, you're gonna have access to direct flights for so many places now. Ginno, you can actually fly Katiklan to Siargao for only 114. However, the problem is that it can take from 11 to 25 total travel time. That's ridiculous. My friend took that flight. He was at Siargao Island and he wanted to visit me here in Boracay Island. And it was a nightmare flight for him because there's no direct flights. Katiklan to Siargao, I know there's no direct flights. You have to fly to Cebu. That's why That's why it takes so long. And then he had to catch the ferry from Surigao Island to Surigao City, fly from Surigao City to Cebu, and he got delayed here, delayed there. He left like early in the morning, and he didn't get to Boracay Island till like almost midnight. It took him like 16 hours to fly from Surigao Island to Caticlan. That's why he said, man, that was a journey just to, and he only had like 4 days in Boracay, so he already killed his first day. But I have not seen a Caticlan direct flight to Surigao. I know I see it all the time. I'm looking at flights. Caticlan only flies to Cebu, so you still have. That's why it's taken that long. That's why the travel time is so long, because you gotta land in Cebu, and then when you get to Cebu, fly to Surigao City, and then from Surigao City get on a ferry to Surigao Island. That's why I said it's cheaper for me sometimes to fly to Thailand direct from Iloilo, or even from Caticlan. You can fly to Taipei and another country, and it'd be cheaper, quicker, cheaper to fly than the domestic travel in the Philippines. Is just hard to travel domestic. It's like mainly Manila is the hub, Cebu City is the hub. Now Iloilo is turning into a hub. But if you're not in those three locations, if you're like, let's say, Leyte or Samar, it's not easy to come to me. It's like, but we're in the same Visayas region. You would think I'm in Western Visayas, people from Samar or Leyte, and Eastern Visayas, it would be an easy go. But flying, it doesn't, because you always have to fly to Cebu, and then from Cebu you got to jump to Aklan or Panay Island. Howdy, Colonel. Howdy, Colonel Daniel. Manila, Clark, Legazpi, Bicol. Yeah, no, right? All right, Fortune. They're like flying. Iloilo City is like, that would be my route if I wanted to go to Palawan. We would have to just catch the plane to Puerto Princesa from Iloilo City, direct flight. You don't have to fly to Cebu and then, because when Calibo used to have more flights, everything out of Calibo, if you're going to like places like Davao, Palawan, Bicol, you name it, you have to go to Cebu or Manila from Calibo. You couldn't direct, very limited direct flights, because again, it's like they just don't have enough passengers. Everything gets routed to Cebu here in the Visayas region, and then to Manila. Zamboanga, Jensen, CDO, Davao. I know about the Davao. I know about the Davao and the CDO. I haven't seen the Jensen or Zamboanga. Hey, Lowell, kumusta? Kumusta, Lowell? Good morning, brother. My good friend in Oregon. Just got home. All right, God bless, my brother. Dumaguete, Panglao, Cebu, Tacloban. See, you can even fly from Iloilo to Tacloban now. That's like awesome. You don't have to go to Cebu City, man. That's great. I view Thailand like Vegas. Maybe a fun vacation, but wouldn't want to live full time. The more rural areas wouldn't be as convenient for foreigners to live due to the language. Good point, Ray. I get that, because like we picked Chiang Mai, Dazzle and I were considering to actually live there, however months they allow us. And one day, that's one of our bucket list items, because a friend of ours stayed in Chiang Mai and they really liked it. And that's kind of like the vibe that I like. I don't like, Bangkok is just like, to me, Bangkok's just like Manila. It's like, maybe safer than Manila, but no different to me than Manila. So it wouldn't be like, I've done it a couple of times, Bangkok. It's fun to like take tours out of Bangkok. It's easy to do those outside of Bangkok tours, but the next place I want to visit there is Chiang Mai. Apple have shifted assembly for products like iPhone, iPads, watches, Samsung, and India, also Google. All right, matter of fact, to Vietnam and India. All right, I think I've seen that. I think that's why I think Vietnam was even pulling away from China, because they don't want to get wrapped in that tariff thing against the United States. So Yes, I have seen that more manufacturing going to Vietnam and India instead of China, which is a good thing. I'm all for that, man. China is our enemy. It's like I do not want to be helping China in any way. Vietnam is a lot cheaper now. Yes, yeah, that's what everybody, all my friends that gone to Vietnam, that's what they tell me. Vietnam is cheaper than most of the countries in Southeast Asia. If that's what you're looking for, if that's what you're looking for, that cheap living. Lived in all different areas of Thailand. It is same as the Philippines in that living there is what you make of it. I learned enough of the language to get by, but the Philippines is easier. All right, all right. Thank you, Colonel. Thank you. See, I know a lot of our people that watch the live streams. Been to Thailand. Most of us, because it's such an easy trip to go to Thailand from here. The advantage of flying in and out of Iloilo is the airport is easy. Oh yeah, man, it's nice. The airport in Iloilo, it's not like in the city. When you go to Manila Airport, it's right there in Pasay. It's like it's crowded just to get into the airport. It's like traffic just to get in the airport. In Iloilo City, you won't feel any traffic. If you're in Mandurriao, if you're at the Injap Hotel, if you gotta go to the airport, man, it's like no traffic at all. Easy in and out of the airport in Iloilo City. Looking at flights and can't seem to find one going closer than Iloilo. Flights, where are you coming from? What flights are you looking for, JP? Coming from the US? US to Iloilo? More likely, there's flights from Taipei, Taiwan to I know there's direct flight from Taipei to Iloilo. I know there's Thailand. There's one direct to Iloilo. Not quite sure about Korea. So maybe the airlines that you're looking at, depending on the airlines that you're looking at, JP. I can help you with that when it's time. Like you ask me, JP, like as far as like, for me, I've always told people it's a lot easier to fly Philippine Airlines if you're coming from the US, because like if you land in Manila, which is most Philippine airlines fly into Manila, at least Philippine Airlines in Manila, they have their own terminal, domestic and international in the same terminal. If you fly to Manila on like a United or what's the other one from Japan, ANA, a lot of those flights, when you land in Manila, you land at the international terminal, and then you got to get all your stuff, your luggage, and you got to get on a bus, like a transport from international to domestic. So that makes it difficult. It's always, it's easier if you're with Philippine Airlines because it's the same terminal. A lot of times you don't even have to get your luggage. Your luggage goes from international to your domestic flight. But we'll have to check, JP, whether if you're coming, whatever flight you're coming, if you can land in Iloilo. I'm sure people are doing that. There's also direct flights now from Incheon in Seoul to Kalibo. So that might be an option. Fly to Incheon on like Korean Airlines from the United States. Fly to Incheon to Kalibo, and then you bypass Iloilo. I mean, there's just many routes. That you can check into. Fortune, that is true. Philippine women are more laid back, family oriented people. They put family first in their life no matter what. All right, Richard. All right. I'm glad you feel that way. I feel the same way. Like I said, I can't comment because I've never been with a Thai woman. I don't know the dynamic there, but for me, my experience with Filipina, with Dazzle, and then my experience, friends telling me, they're just very family oriented, and they're traditional. They want to like support the husband. They want to like it's an easier dynamic than what the Western culture now is getting to. Pinays, once married, will prioritize the husband and family, very focused. All right, Fortune, thank you for adding that. That's how I feel too. So you will be well taken care of. PH 1000 will be my home. Just my 3 to 6 months in Vietnam, Japan, Thailand. The Pinay is very close to Seoul. All right, Daniel. Oh, I am very hungry. I've seen my dad was born in the Philippines, so I feel more comfortable there than in other parts of Asia. I reckon it's because it's in your DNA. Yeah, it's in your DNA, man. Google flights won't let me select Katiklan as a destination. Probably because I think Katiklan JP is more like for domestic flights. I know the only international flight that lands in Katiklan is from Taiwan, Taipei. There's a international flight from Taipei, Taiwan to Katiklan. And like I said, Kalibo has the Incheon now. The Incheon, more likely Korean Airlines from Incheon in Seoul, South Korea. Could never totally blend with Thai or Nam culture. All right, Daniel. You look good, Ginno. All right, you got a good face for. I got a good face. It's like, thank you. I got a good face for. I do need to get a haircut. I was gonna get a haircut yesterday, man. I like my high and tight, but I got pretty busy yesterday. I ran out of time. Maybe after the live stream here, once Dazzle wakes up, I'll get a haircut and eat lunch in Kalibo. All right, let me just look at my notes and make sure I hit all the infrastructure. I know it's better. Food is better in Thailand. People always tell me that. I did mention I just don't see many Thai women married to expats. I see a ton of expats married to Filipino women and have kids. It's like all right. I think I hit all the information there that the comparison. Maybe you guys can add, like I said, your experience in Thailand and your experience here in the Philippines. Phil, I found a flight from Korea to Kalibo. Right there. I know there is. Great. Thank you, Phil. Because Korea, direct flight, Korea to Kalibo, 192 Canadian. So that's even cheaper in American dollars. Ginno, my first visit to Thailand was Chiang Mai. All right, Colonel. I have to talk to you about Chiang Mai. I heard a lot of good things about Chiang Mai, man. Was where I decided earlier to retire in Thailand. All right, but it has changed. Oh, I'm sure, yeah, because the time you were there, probably now with all the tourists. But I'm still gonna try it. That's one of Dazzle and I's bucket list. Hopefully, we can live there for a little bit. At least visit for sure. Hong Kong to Iloilo. All right, Hong Kong to Iloilo. So that could be another route from the U.S. I'm sure there's connecting flights from U.S. to Hong Kong, then Iloilo. I don't want to start any trouble, but I prefer China. Well, no trouble, man. I respect wherever you want to live, but man, for me, man, China's evil. And that's like, I'll leave it at that. I just think China's evil. Seattle to Incheon. All right, Seattle to Incheon to Cebu or to Iloilo. There you go, man. That's perfect, man. That's a good flight there, JP. If you can fly from Seattle to Incheon and then direct to Iloilo, man. Not even bad if you have to route through Cebu, because Cebu to Iloilo is only like an hour. It's the waiting at the airport, unfortunately. That would be like the only drawback. But if you can get an Incheon direct to Iloilo, that would be nicer. Good day, Bon. Hello, Fortune. That's a good plan. JP, jelly and peanut butter. That's funny. Fortune, if you approve, it must be a good plan. It is. We have only been to Bangkok and just got back from Koh Samet, where I proposed. All right, congratulations. I like the transit system in Bangkok, the BTS. This is my 21st country, and that's the thing. I understand, like I said, Thailand blows the Philippines as far as infrastructure, hospitals, subways, roads, everything. The Philippines is just like, unfortunately, mismanaged in that concern. It's like, if infrastructure and then it's amazing how the Philippine infrastructure is subpar, but the hotels and apartments cost more here. But I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened. Long time no see. Long time no see, brother. Glad you're on the live stream. Miss you on the live stream here, Ron Navy. You'll have to update me, man, on how the whole fiance, the whole fiance going, the visa is going. Ginno, I'm younger, but I have a lot more gray hairs, and have permanent yamaka. Yamaka. I don't know what a yamaka is. All right, no worries, man. It's like I got gray hairs now. Don't It's like gray hair. That's it's like I'll be 60 next year. So I'm getting up there. I'm getting up there. Like I said, I've the life expectancy for an adult male, I think, is 76. So I consider myself at the fourth quarter of my life. Agreed. Tim Melker Adventures. Ex-law enforcement prefers donuts. Fortune. LOL, JV. But it is. All right. 2 places in Asia I will never travel to: India and China. I'm open to all others. Same here. China's not in my bucket. I've been to Hong Kong. I guess that's part of China. That's part of China. I can't. Yeah, they did turn over Hong Kong, but no. I'm not eager. It's like that's not one of my bucket list items to like hit mainland China. I have looked in flights to Cebu. Most go from Oregon to Manila, then Cebu. I also found one from Oregon to Taiwan to Cebu. Yes, Taiwan is a common route for a lot of airlines that's coming from the United States. But it costs more. Yeah, that's the thing, right? When I was flying, back in the day, I always look at the cost. I didn't really care where I flew, what kind of route I went, as long as it was the cheapest. I'm frugal. That's always the case for me. I don't mind long airline, long trips, long delays, man. As long as I could save money, that was the thing with me. Our a bold spot. That's what. Oh, all right. Sorry, I didn't get it. Southern Cal, I didn't get it. Right? Hey, Ryan, there's my friend Ryan. I was discussing our day yesterday, Ryan, and your stories about Thailand. Hi, Ginno, you made the live stream work, and I made. All right. Earlier, Ryan told he was leaving Calibo to hit Iloilo. Hey, just safe travels, Ryan. I know Ryan's got all these. He's gonna visit Iloilo. He's gonna go to Bacolod. Might drive to Negros all the way to Dumaguete, visit that area. He's gonna ride a motorbike. Man, you're gonna have an adventure, Ryan. I'm happy for you. Just enjoy. Be safe, brother. And anything you need from me, any question, if you get stuck somewhere, you're not sure what's going on, make sure you got my personal phone number. You can call me anytime, text me. It's like I said, man, you have a friend here in Calibo. Ron Navy, I turn 57 next month. All right, Ron. All right. Bill, I knew I would start something. All right. I don't want layover longer than 5 to 6 hours. Oh, okay. All right. Me, it's like I said before, when I travel, man, I'm always just looking for like the cheapest ticket. Long layovers didn't bother me, just because I'll find a restaurant, something, just keep myself busy in the airport. Now, I can't blame you, JP, because it's a long trip. I know it's a long trip from the United States to come all the way here to Southeast Asia. So any way you can like cut the travel. Thanks, big brother. All right, Ryan. Ryan said he'll be back. So, whenever you come back here, it's like, we'll do more stuff, man. We'll do more stuff when you come back here. Maybe hit the waterfalls, maybe down the. I can tell Ryan likes the adventure. It's like yesterday we were going to like Bakawan Eco Park and that bamboo structures. So I can tell he likes the adventure. It's like that. We'll hit waterfalls here in Aklan. We'll hit the river tubing. I know that's the kind of vibe that you like. So on your next trip, Ryan. Congrats, Ryan. Try the bak choy at La Paz Market. Pancit molo. It's a soup with dumplings, not noodles and mo. And what Ryan was like I said, Ryan was in Thailand for 8 years. He's not afraid to try the food. He's already tried sisig. He had sisig. I think he had sisig in when he was in Rojas City. When we ate lunch, Ryan ate. Bicol Express. Bicol Express. I ate Bicol Express. So Ryan is not afraid at all to like try Filipino food. So I'm sure he will try Filipino food when he gets to Iloilo. Well, he's in Iloilo now. He said he landed in Iloilo. So enjoy, man. I know you like Iloilo, man. And then just message me if you have any questions as far as getting from Iloilo City to Bacolod City. When it's time for you to hit the ferry. Ground has been shaking over there. Be safe, especially if you're traveling. Yes, it's like the main earthquake so far, the one in Cebu and then the one in Davao, and then a lot of like aftershocks all over the Philippines. Iloilo City is my home city. Born there in 1972. All right, Fortune. Jason, 12-2, man. I guess I didn't have to watch the game. And after, that's a blowout, serious blowout. Lowell, Calibo is about twice the population of where I live now. Cebu is absolutely huge in comparison. I plan on flying business class. Good business class. Many people fly business class. I know Edgar flew business class coming here for my comfort and power plug for my portable. All right. Hey, it's like, you need comfort, man. If you can fly business class, man, that's great, because, that's a long flight from the United States, The more comfortable you are, the better. At the downtown Calle Real, I've had that siopaw, that Roberto's siopaw, gigantic siopaw, man. I've never had a siopaw that big. Fortune, go for the queen, but you need to be there early. Yeah, I've tried that. I've tried the Roberto's siopaw. Phil McLeod, thumbs up from Brian. My layover is around 12 days. I know, in Tokyo. I know, man. That's awesome. Daniel. That's going to be an awesome vacation layover in Japan. But I did see, Daniel, I did watch a video yesterday. I'll forward it to you, how even they're saying even in Japan now, there's like over tourism, just because when the yen dropped, it made Japan affordable. There's a lot of Filipinos here going to Japan now on vacation. When I was stationed there, I was there 2000 to 2004. Japan was expensive. It's like even when you're there, they were actually our COLA, our cost of living allowance. They gave us extra money in the military to live in Japan. But now, because the yen had dropped so much, it's become more affordable, and now they're having trouble with over tourism. People that like couldn't afford to vacation in Tokyo, now it's very affordable. So they're running into that problem. They say it's like over tourism. If you are interested in heritage like ancestral houses, you can go to Camina Balay and Ngabato in Villa, in Haro Plaza. Oh yeah, the last time I was there, I filmed it. I didn't go to those the ancestral houses, Fortune. Maybe next time. But I did. I walked around the Haro Plaza. I filmed all the area in Haro, the cathedral, and then the bell. You know, the bell tower that was damaged in the earthquake, and they fixed it up. What was that? The first Protestant church in the Philippines is right there at Haro Plaza. I went to that building. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. If you like, you know, that, you know, if you like museums, if you like going back in time, you know, Haro, definitely visit the Haro Plaza. Brian, where are you from? Brian's from Galveston County, Galveston in Texas, near Houston, Texas. Southeast Texas, right there. So, hi, Ginno. Brian, we're baseball buddies. You know, it's like when it's baseball playoffs, we're like chatting all the games. He watches most of the games like I do. If I have time, I'll watch. I'm a big Dodger fan, so all the Dodger games I watch. And during the game, Brian and I were like texting each other. Ginno, hey Manny, what's up? Hey man, stay safe. I know you guys are getting earthquakes there in Iloilo. I'm glad at least you guys don't live in the condominiums up in the towers anymore. At least you're like you have a house now. You have a house in Iloilo. Finally made it to your live session. All right, Manny. Let me know when you're back. We'll do, Manny. We were just there, so. Maybe around before Christmas for sure. I'm sure Dazzle's gonna want to go shopping at SNR or shopping for Christmas gifts right before Christmas. Maybe middle December. We'll plan a trip to Iloilo City. Good AM, Ginno. Good at 44. All right, I've seen your handle there. Good at 444. Hope all is well with you guys. Regards to Dazzle, Leanna, and your mother-in-law. Stay safe. All right, Ben and Maya. All right, that's what I figured. I recognize the handle. Ben and Maya visited us here in Calibo. We actually ate together at the backyard in Calibo. I recognize the handle. And they came here to Calibo. They did the Iloilo. They did the Negros Island. Benz and Maya retired in Manila, but they're looking for a better retirement location. You know, because like Ben was telling me how Manila, when he opens his door out of his home there in Manila, it's just the noise, you know. And here, when he stayed here in Calibo, he just loved it because like when you go out of your hotel, there's no noise. It's quiet. So I know Ben and Mai, they enjoyed their time here in Calibo. If you like churches, good ones, plenty, right? Haro and Molo. Molo's got a nice church too. Yeah, right there. Haro Cathedral, Molo Church with all the women, saints. Yeah. You know, one thing about Iloilo City, it's getting modernized. Mandurriao, you got the Mega World buildings looking more like Makati, you know, lately condominiums being built. But what's nice about Iloilo, there are still districts in Iloilo like Haro, the district of Haro, the district of Molo. The past is still there. You know, it's like the older sections of Iloilo. You will see churches like I'm sure these churches like 1800s, you know, 1900s on these churches. But like if you like museum, there's a Chinatown. There's a Chinatown in Iloilo City. I think that's the only Chinatown in Panay Island. I didn't see a Chinatown in Rojas City. In Calibo, there used to be a little like not a town, but like China Street. But now it's like no longer like that. But they do celebrate like their Chinese New Year. There's an area here in Calibo where they decorate that street like with all the red stuff, all the red. There's a Chinese population here, Filipino Chinese population here in Calibo. Brian, I told Ginno before the league championships started, it would be the Blue Jays. Series to lose, of course, remains to be seen. Yeah, that's what Brian knows. I'm a I told Brian, really it doesn't matter to me who the Dodgers play. I just want to, I haven't really been paying attention to the Seattle or the Blue Jays because I'm focused on my Dodgers. It's like, to me, Seattle Blue Jays doesn't really matter who we play. As long as we're there, as long as we're at the World Series. Love Japan. I've been there 4 times. It's changed a lot over the years. Yeah. One of the places I want to really take Dazzle is Japan. I still have friends there. I lived in Misawa in northern Japan, Aomori Prefecture. More country, more farms. Not like Tokyo at all. And my good friend Alan, lives in Misawa. He married a Japanese lady. He retired from the Air Force like me, married a Japanese lady, and they got 2 kids, And he lives there. He's been wanting me to go up there. But as soon as Dazzle wants to fly, I will take her there because that's one trip I want to go see my friend there in Misawa Air Base in Japan. The original Santo Niño from Cebu visited Iloilo City and went to San Jose Church, hence Dinagyang Festival. All right, thank you for that. I didn't know how the Dinagyang Festival was born, but thank you, Fortune. See, I love Fortune. Man. I love Fortune because I learned stuff from Fortune. See, now when I go attend Dinagyang, I know the purpose of Dinagyang. It's like I know the history of Dinagyang now. Dinagyang is just similar to like our Ati-Atihan festival here in Calibo. Dinagyang is another festival here in the Philippines. In Villa Arevalo Church is where the 3rd oldest Santo Niño. Cebu first and then that. All right. Tondo second. Hey, I was born in Tondo, man. My birth certificate, Fortune says Tondo, Manila. I think Tondo Hospital or the main hospital in Tondo is where I was born. 1966 is my born year. Brian, I agree. I'm an Astros fan, of course. Yes. Brian's a big Astros fan. I have done 2 different DNA tests that show I have 2% Philippine. Do you know if there is a way to determine what region? Ooh, I do not know if they do that here in the Philippines, Lowell. I'll have to do research. on that. That's an interesting question there. As far as like, I do not hear many people getting like I do know they do offer DNA testing here in the Philippines because when a expat marries a Filipina, like an American, and they have a baby, sometimes a DNA is requested by the embassy because of Social Security. When you have a kid on if you're on Social Security and you have a kid here in the Philippines, your kid is entitled to Social Security. 50% of your Social Security. Like, let's say I'm getting $2,000 Social Security and I have a kid. That kid is eligible for $1,000 Social Security. If you got 2 kids there, each kid is eligible for $1,000. That's why, a lot of Americans are having kids here that are on Social Security already because it adds income. It adds a pension to them. And as long as the kid from birth to 18 years old, that kid's gonna collect Social Security here in the Philippines if the dad is an American. The yen is around 151 per $1. All right, it's a 151. When I was in Japan, Daniel, 2000 to 2004. It was around 90 to 95. So it has almost doubled. It's like the value of the dollar against the yen. That's why it's so affordable now in Japan. Good morning, James. There's James and Karen. James and Karen's Adventures. Check out their YouTube channel. I'll watch I'm glad your DJI works, man. It's rice. Rice is life, man. James, Karen put the DJI camera, went in the water and they dried it up, but Karen put it in rice and it's working. So hopefully, cross my finger, keep working. Keep the DJI, the camera keeps working. Brian, y'all have a great day. All right, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Ginno, is there still an Ati-Atihan in January or it got moved to October? No. That what you saw in October, Southern Cal Benny, that's called opening salvo. Opening salvo is 3 days. We just had it. That's what the videos I made. That's every year. Every year there's opening salvo in October. 3 days. It's kind of like a preparation for Ati-Atihan in January. Prequel, kind of like a prequel, because like in January it's 10 days, and what they do is they do the October one. That way they get the mindset of people here. They arrange like the setup for parking, for crowd control, police, and then the bands themselves, because a lot of the bands, they don't practice the whole year. A lot of the dancers of Ati-Atihan, if opening salvo is in October, usually they'll late August, September, that's the time they ramp up. They start practicing, because the bands, usually every year there's people leaving the band, working somewhere else. Each of the bands of the over 100 marching bands, they get new members all the time. So that's why there's an opening salvo in October, just so they can test. They can test if everybody's ready for Ati-Atihan in January. Like this October opening salvo, police from like different places in Aklan, also like in Panay Island, come here. But so there's more police presence to control the crowd control. But come January, it's gonna be an insane amount of police here. Over 1,000 police in Calibo. Police from Negros Island, police from Cebu, police from everywhere come here, because it's a big event. They don't want any incident happenings. Crowd control is like really big for Ati-Atihan Festival. It's the Mardi Gras of the Philippines. Out of all the festivals, it's to me it's the liveliest, because there's Dinagyang in Iloilo, there's Sinulog in Cebu, there's what else? Mascara Festival in Bacolod, but nothing like Ati-Atihan, because in Ati-Atihan, crowd participation is encouraged. You can actually, if there's a parade, you can join the parade. You can dance with the band. You can dance with the dancers. So like it's a free for all. You can dress up any way you want, like Mardi Gras. As long as you're not decent. As long as like you cover like private parts. You're not too wild. But you can wear a wig. It's like all out like Mardi Gras in January, and that's gonna come up. I mean, next thing you know, it'll be like Ati-Atihan time here now. Haro used to be a town and elevated to a city, then downgraded district. I know it's a district. Somebody corrected me about that. That's why I know that it's a district, because I think it says Haro City, but it's a district of Iloilo City. Bound by Iloilo River in the sea. JP, I think DNA results get more detailed if there are more samples submitted. Oh, okay. I don't know how specific. I'll research it, but I just don't know how specific here. I know in the US for sure, they're doing all kinds of things with DNA testing. Here in the Philippines, the main DNA testing that I've heard here is like verifying that the American is their kid. That's the main DNA test here. That's important anyway, because again, for that kid to gain a US passport, you have to, when you're an American here and a kid is born here in the Philippines, that's yours, or you think it's yours, DNA is needed, and then you need to register that birth at the US Embassy. So it's called like a US citizen born abroad, and that baby is eligible for a American passport, and then again are eligible for Social Security if you're receiving Social Security. It's like 50% Social Security of your Social Security while you're alive, and if you pass away, it becomes 75% of your Social Security. So it's a significant amount, So for the expats that older expats that have kids, if they pass away, at least they're leaving the kid like 75% a month until the kid hits 18. I did a video of it. If you look at my videos, I think it's in the, I have a playlist for retirement in the Philippines, and that was the one of the videos I made. It's like explaining how Social Security works here in the Philippines if you have a kid, if you have a baby. Sugar barons. I know about the sugar barons. My friend Joel like explained that all to me. Joel's like a local haro. You know, he's in America. He lives in Arizona, but I think he went to school or something like that as a kid in Haro. So he explained it to me. There's like built mansions there. The sugar barons of Iloilo. It's better to raise kids in the Philippines. You get Social Security and they get better education. Yes, right? You know, for me, you know, like I agree, James. And I mean, they're gonna get, you know, you're gonna gain extra income anyway. And for me, looking at what's going on in the U.S., I do, you know, that's why I think I did a one video talking about that, because you hear people saying like, why would you want to raise your kids in the Philippines? You know, you're in America, you're in a developed country, but more and more now I'm seeing, you know, my friend Ivan, my friend Jeremiah, they're coming from Canada, the United States. They're bringing their kids here to the Philippines, young kids, like 4 years old, 7 years old, 13 years old. They're bringing their kids here to have them go to school here in the Philippines. So I think that misnomer, I don't think it, you know, that you're gonna get better education in the U.S. I don't think that's the case anymore. There's more and more, I know there's more and more foreigners coming to the Philippines to go to school here, become a nurse here from all over the world, not just Canada, US, there's Australians here, there's people from the Middle East, Africa. They come to the Philippines to study nursing here or study to become doctors here in the Philippines. Iloilo City is one of the places that has a great education for anything medical. Fortune can tell you that. So some of the top schools are in Iloilo City if you're interested in medical. Southern Cal, Benny, October is just opening salvo, yep, for the actual festival in January. Iloilo City, Dinagyang will have their opening salvo in December. Okay, I gotta mark that down, man. I gotta like look when their opening salvo is, because I have many friends now in Iloilo City, so I'll time it. The last time Dazzle and I went to Iloilo City, we kind of wanted just to do our thing, you know, it's like it was a getaway just for Dazzle and I. But the next time, especially in December, Fortune mentioned to me Pototan in Iloilo. He said it's got one of the best, and I looked it up a little bit. I saw it actually. I saw it on Mike on That Philippines Live. He did Pototan, like the Christmas lights and Christmas festival at Pototan, Iloilo, and it's like amazing. It's like I think it's the best one out of all the opening of lights, all the Christmas display in the entire Philippines. It's in Pototan, so I want to see that for sure in December, and then maybe time it when opening salvo is in Iloilo. I'll have to look at the dates. And see when the perfect time it is to go to Iloilo. Dinagyang was ahead of Sinulog, but Atiatihan is the original. That's why the mother of all festivals. Yes, yeah, that's what they call Atiatihan. When we first got to Manila, we lived for 1 year in Manugit subdivision. All right. We didn't live in a subdivision in Tondo, but we lived on Jose Abad Santos Street. I remember the street because for some reason, your address, your street, you know, you don't forget. And I remember Jose Abad Santos was where we lived in Tondo. Good AM, James and Karen. Opening salvo is like a wake-up call it is a wake-up call, because now if you go to Calibo now here in Numancia, I still hear the drum beats. They're practicing at the plaza, and actually pretty soon here at Pastrana Park, every night the bands will like walk around, you know, the different marching bands will walk around Pastrana and play their drum beats. For sure by December, by the first week of December, every day at from like 8 p.m. all the way to like 10, 11 p.m. There's like Atiatihan bands on Pastrana Park. because they got to practice, man. They got to practice their beats, their dance moves, because last year some of the prices for the groups, different categories, was like 1,000,000 pesos. That's like $18,000 for the group. So that's a lot of money here in the Philippines. They take that stuff serious. At the Atihan Festival, that 10 days brings a ton of money to Calibo. That's why the prices are so big, as far as the different events, the different competition. And the mayor sometimes even throws in his own money, and the governor, it's just a big event. Even the president of the Philippines, people from Congress, senators, they all come here to Calibo for Ati-Atihan. It's like, you see so many politicians here in Calibo during Ati-Atihan. How does SS work for a younger person that lives in another country? Younger person that a younger person that lives as far as like you're collecting, or if it's a younger person, Phil, they're not collecting unless they're on disability. I know that that's the dynamic, but the one I'm talking about is if it's a kid, if it's a baby born here from an American citizen, and the American citizen is collecting Social Security, that kid gets half. Like, let's say that the American gets $2,000, that kid gets $1,000. So usually of course the money goes to the dad, because the dad's the one watching, and then per kid, each kid you gain like $1,000. That's why you see a lot of older Americans, a lot of senior citizens here have kids, because kind of like almost like insurance, just in case something happens to them, just in case something, at least they leave their wife, their Filipina wife, with a kid, and the kid gets 18 years of Social Security, and again, it increases from 50% to 75%. If you're talking about for a younger person, if you're working here in the Philippines, I don't know clearly how. You still have to pay taxes in the United States. Like for me, I pay taxes on my military pension, so Social Security still takes a piece out of my pension. So, but Social Security is available here in the Philippines. The U.S. Embassy runs. There's a Social Security office at the embassy. If you have any questions regarding your benefits, Social Security benefits here in the Philippines, you just go to the U.S. Embassy. And like for me, when I turn 62, I plan on collecting Social Security when I'm 62, less than 3 years from now. I can actually get my Social Security deposit directly into a Philippine bank. My military pension, they don't allow me to do that. My military pension has to go to a bank in the US, so I have to transfer the money. But my Social Security, when it's time for me to receive my Social Security, my Banco de Oro, I can have Social Security in Manila, send my money to Banco de Oro. Do you get part pension or full pension at age 60? 62 is the earliest time I can get Social Security. They call early retirement, they call it in the United States. So I got but like less than 3 years, like I said. When I turn 62, I'll get like early Social Security early. My full age, if I wanted to get the full amount of my Social Security, I have to wait 67. If I get it at 62, I think it's 30% less, so I only get 70%. But it's like I'm taking it at 62, and I can use it at 62. Then at 60, no telling if I can reach 67. Then. Hey, Mariners are down. I know. As earlier, TextPat said that Team Milker, it's a long series. Yeah, it's a long series. It's like 2-1. Good for them. At least it makes it more competitive. At least 2-1. That it was a must win. I'm sure it was a must win for the Blue Jays already. You don't want to go 3-0 in the series. Get all the runs out of it now, so they won't score on later. They can take the series. I haven't watched a base. Wow, you haven't? Me, I watch it every year, JP. I haven't watched football, American football now. Like this year, I think I watched one game because they had it free. I think at YouTube, but I don't watch American football anymore. But baseball, I've watched every year. It's like baseball has been always my sport. I used to go to the Orioles games growing up in Maryland, but yeah, I haven't watched baseball. Oh wow, I'm surprised. Like me, I moved to the United States in 1978 in Los Angeles, and that was like, the Dodgers when we had Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, Ron Say, the Penguin. So I've been a Dodger fan. When I landed, because like, we didn't have that professional sports here in the Philippines. So when I landed in LA, I went to a Dodger game and I was hooked. And then in 1980, we got Fernando Valenzuela, and that just blew up even more. It's like I really became a Dodger fan. Team LOL, LOL. All right. All right. I got to the bottom here. Oh, let me see here. The last time I watched a game, the Mariners were good. Oh yeah, the Junior, when Junior was still playing. Yeah, I remember. I remember watching Junior. Yeah, he's a legend. I'm sure he's in the Hall of Fame now. Ginno, be careful about folks fishing for info data to use in the future. This guy is asking way too many dollar questions. It's all right. It's all right, Daniel. But thank you for the warning, Daniel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Junior was awesome. I know, Junior was cool because like, especially when he was a rookie, his beginning, he looked like a kid. That's why they called him the kid. It's like he really looked like a kid. Just enjoying baseball, playing baseball. All right, I got to the bottom. And I did talk about that. Our topic today was Thailand and the Philippines. Thank you for everybody's participation on that. The opinions, your voice out. Appreciate that, and appreciate you joining the live stream. Thank you so much. That's a big street. There's oh wow, I didn't know there's an LRT station now there, man. Yeah, I remember it was a long street, like one of the main streets in Tondo. I remember that. But I haven't been there since I was a kid, man. So I haven't been back in that area. So I'm sure I would not recognize it. I'm sure I would not recognize that street anymore. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live stream. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I appreciate your time. I missed the topic. Can we go over it? Next time. We were discussing earlier, Manny, we were discussing Thailand and the Philippines. Just a comparison, nothing like which one's better, which one's that. It's not, it was just like because of Ryan. Ryan was, I hanged out with Ryan yesterday, and he was, he lived in Thailand for 8 years. He's actually in Iloilo, man. He's right there. He's checking out Iloilo, and then he's going to head over to, I think, Bacolod, and then head out to Dumaguete City. Get your likes in. All right. Thank you, JP. Appreciate that, JP. All right. Take care, everyone, and everyone, stay blessed.